fascinating little poll here. And I think it's really interesting, Rita, that you were talking about, a party leader who doesn't believe anything. And I think we can contrast that to Peter Dutton on the national level, who had that resounding victory for the No campaign. Everybody said no. I think it was 61-39 at the end of the day. Resounding defeat for that. The polls now show, this is a Fairfax 9 poll, that support for treaty and the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, or whatever it is, has slid to around a third. So even the yes voters are now turning away from that.
But that headline we just saw from the Sydney Morning Herald is saying that, no, Peter Dutton should not be reading too much into the
no, of course not.
That's what they're terrified of.
They are terrified. And the Guardian's having a full-blown...
Have you noticed the way that, by the way, the press is now so terrified of Peter Dutton because he had a huge win this week. I think we've got to note the very big win on immigration. But you could look at the press and you see the commentators and they're all saying, oh, well, here comes the big Peter Dutton tough guy campaign that shows that they're absolutely terrified. Catherine Murphy in The Guardian is having an absolute heart attack over this.
Fantastic. Tell us about it.
Oh, well, she's just saying, that here comes, she's saying, here comes the big, she calls him Daddy Dutton, which is pretty interesting thing to call him. But anyway, I'll leave that to the viewers' imaginations. But there's now this sort of sense among left-wing commentators that we've got this sort of muscular Peter Dutton tough guy, and they're trying to tear down that image as all being just this sort of conservative scare-em act. But of course, no, actually what he's doing is what an opposition leader should do, and he's being effective, I think, at it. And if he keeps it up, he's going to take a lot of paint off Labor at the next election.
Absolutely. He's going to win the next election. I keep telling everybody, you can put your money on it now. He's going to win the next election. I guarantee. Seriously, if you have a strong opposition leader with strong convictions who stays true to the course, ignores Simon Birmingham. If Simon Birmingham, Peter walks down the corridor towards you, you go blah, 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 until he's gone past. Because we saw Simon Birmingham again wetting the bed, figuratively speaking, in the Senate this week. Tell us about it, Rita.
Yes, Thursday, all the attention was in the lower house, understandably, because Labor was capitulating in spectacular fashion, taking all 6 of the coalition's amendments, and Peter Dutton really had quite an impact there. But in the upper house, in the Senate, Alex Antic was trying to refer his bill to a Senate hearing, so we could hear both sides about whether children we're talking about here, under 18, should be having medical transitions, having medical treatments to change their gender. And the Labor and the Greens, obviously, they had a meltdown. They voted against this. But there were Liberals voting with Labor and the Greens, all abstaining. Shame on them. Simon Birmingham again gave a conscience vote. These conscience votes are becoming
Why do you think you won the Voice, Liberals? Because you didn't have a conscience vote. Conviction that will always trump conscience votes. So Birmingham, put him in his box. Don't let him out again until after the election if the Libs want to win government.